We've had two major passings this week, and we got to talk about them. You know, we'd be remiss if we didn't. And there's actually few more than two that passed this week, but we got to talk about the big ones, man. I'm very upset about this because you knew it was going to come, but it just came out of nowhere. And I think the first person I got this from was you, Chris. We got to talk about Ozzy Osbourne, man. Prince of Darkness, heavy metal icon. Him, Black Sabbath created heavy metal. They were like the seed, right? Passed away age 76. And I'll be honest, man, I'm not trying to sound callous. I'm actually surprised that dude lived that long with all the shit he did to himself. Like, fuck. Yeah. Him and Keith Richards must have like identical genes or something, man. Keith Richards still around too.
Keith is older too.
He's older, yeah. So. And what makes the story more poignant, and we're gonna get to our Ozzy stories, obviously. He did his farewell tour 3 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, right?
The 5th. It was fantastic.
And everybody loved it. Adam, you saw it. You were telling us all about it.
He did a full set. It was amazing. I was like, shoot. Because usually I've seen a few of his performances. Yeah. Either he'll do a lip sync, the mic's really close up, but he's moving around. All right. No, he was there on a throne. He had the mic. He's singing. He's crying. The fans are crying. It was very emotional. And then, just like you said, just a few weeks later, and he's dead.
Yeah. So I don't know if you know about the lead up to it, Adam, but basically, he told Sharon, I want to do one last show for the fans. And he's been going through Parkinson's and all that. He actually went to therapy, like a physical therapy to, kind of build himself up so he could perform that night. Yeah. And I was telling Manny this like before the show. I honestly believe that Ozzy felt like a sense of peace. Like, okay, I did what I wanted one last time. I can go now, and then that happens to a lot of men that retire, right? Like I'm done, but he did the one thing he loved. Even Sharon's like he loved this even more than his fans. He loved the fans, and it's true. You've never heard any instance of Ozzy shitting on the fans ever. Ozzy obviously was wild and crazy too, and we're gonna talk about that. But that was like an artist that you don't really get nowadays, right? The guy genuinely loved his fans. I don't even know what the fuck his politics are. It's like he kept all that shit out of there. Great stuff. And, we have the music. We have the fucking wild-ass TV show and all that. But, yeah, this is a big one, man, because, again, think about it like this, right? Name me another singer that sounds like Ozzy. Yeah,
that's it.
There are a million Rob Halford clones, Bruce Dickinson clones. I love these guys, by the way. There are so many of these guys. Nobody sounds like Ozzy. I always said Ozzy, not the greatest singer, but a fantastic vocalist. This guy had a presence of. And this week, obviously, I've just been listening to a bunch of Ozzy, and I can't help but just sing along to it. It's just he just had this like way of doing things, man. And obviously the showmanship and everything. Big, man. And the other thing I want to say, before I let you guys in, one of the things I think about a lot lately is the fact that we have all these new artists, new movies and shit with no cultural relevance, right? They're siloed off to their own little fandoms, and there may be an artist out there with like 1 million followers that you've never heard of, right? Not Ozzy. When this shit happened, I said this in the office, right? I'm like, Ozzy passed away. Even the younger guys, I didn't have to explain to them, who is Ozzy? They were like, what? Everybody, bro, young or old, knew who this dude was. So that's true cultural impact, This is like watching an Avatar movie. And I like those movies, but it's like, it's like Ozzy, man. It's fucking insane, man. And we're gonna get to other stories too. Like Manny and I, we went to fucking Oscars for like 8 years in a row, bro. Like this wasn't like, oh yeah, we listen to Ozzy here, and now it's like, no, man, we used to see this motherfucker every year, And I still listen to him regularly. It's like Ozzy. With Ozzy, it's like Black Sabbath, and mostly, just being honest, I love Black Sabbath to death, but it's his solo stuff, man. I still listen to that shit regularly. So now this week it's just me listening to it a little more than usual. It's that fucking Ozzy, man. And this guy had such a way of bringing in like such talented guys, right? Fucking Randy Rhoads, Jakey Lee, Zach Wilde, Gus
Yeah,
G.
everyone
You
worked
know,
with him.
like he just, whoo, man. Like I got more Ozzy stuff, but yeah, Adam, what's your? I know you love Ozzy too. Obviously, you got any cool
Yeah.
stories?
I mean, well, just Ozzy himself, Crazy Train, and and be like, what do you mean Ozzy? Well, yeah, there was Black Sabbath, and that was early on. But then he went when he was solo and he was doing his own thing, and like you mentioned, all the other artists that were working with him, and we could all say what we want about Sharon and the whole
Yeah.
thing, but he would have been dead if he didn't meet her.
Oh yeah,
She cleaned
absolutely.
him up because that was the whole thing. People forget he didn't leave Black Sabbath. Usually singers leave because whether the record label's like,
They
hey, you
kicked
don't
his
need
ass
these
out.
guys.
Yeah.
They kicked him out for the drugs and shit. We all saw, if you ever seen Dirt, we all know the Motley Crue thing, snorting up ants and shit. He was a mess. He did a lot of crazy shit. But she cleaned him up. She put him on the right path. And it's like, hey, go back in the studio, start working on your own shit. Everything's fine. And he continued on. And I'm first to say it. I think he surpassed what Black Sabbath did.
Oh no, that's what I'm glad you said that because he did. Here's the thing: Black Sabbath right now they're obviously highly regarded. They gave birth to metal during the '70s. They were big. Don't get me wrong, but they weren't like they didn't hit the stratosphere. Ozzy, how many artists do that? They get kicked out of an iconic band, form their own band, and they blow up even bigger. I think Phil Collins was like the only other one I could think of. Michael Jackson, another one. It's like, so yeah, Adam, no, that's not an opinion. That's a fact. Like Ozzy during the 80s, fucking like in the stratosphere, you know, because of all these amazing dudes. And yeah, I know, I was thinking about that too this week. I was like, I really don't like Sharon Osbourne, but she saved his life, man.
Saved him. She saved his life. You know, and then also big shout out to Tom Morello.
Yeah.
I did not know the relationship he had. I mean, how would I? I'm not in that fucking world. I don't know these people. I don't know who's friends with who and who goes over for dinner. But he's the one that orchestrated that whole big performance, contacted the band, did the whole thing, said, hey, this is what's going on. Did the whole presentation. It's it's long. It's like 10 hours long.
Nice.
But I mean, from set to set, in between, if they were taking videos that people that had sent TikToks or whatever, hey, Ozzy, you did this for me. I'm in Australia. I'm sick or whatever. They had every celebrities, Manson, you name it. They were all that couldn't make it. Priest and them, they all sent their videos. So they were all in on it. So it was just an amazing show. And to know that right at the end, and he said it, he was like, Ozzy, he was like, thank you, Tom. He's like, yeah, he wanted to do a big show. Parkinson, everything, his body was beat to hell already at this point. But he was like, I don't know how to put this together. He said, don't worry, I got this. And he did it. And it was fantastic. And if there's any way to go out, we always hear about athletes, right? They want to go on top. They want to win the championship, win the last fight, or whatever. I mean, this is it. It's not just, oh, he did a good concert. No, he did it back home in Birmingham in front of 40,000 fans.
Back where it all started.
Back where it all started with all these huge bands. Hell, the fact that Pantera, if people know the history of Pantera, especially the lead singer and the shit he said about Ozzy, okay, about he didn't like him, but he's like, he's overrated, all the shit. And he was even on stage talking about, we wouldn't have metal if it wasn't for Ozzy.
It's true. All those bands owe their existence to Sabbath.
They all bent the knee at this event, and it was a charity event, so it wasn't like, they're doing it for the paycheck. No. They knew this was it. They saw his condition. They were like, all right, you know what? I want to be there for that. And it was great. It was great to see all of that put together. I'm telling people need to go watch it. And you know what? I bet once it gets out there, they'll probably make a Blu-ray set, and I'll definitely want to pick it up for all the background.
3 discs.
3 discs, 4 discs, 5 discs. Because right at the end, once it's done, it shows the backstage area, and you're seeing, you name it, artists hugging and talking and just communicating that you could have never imagined would be together, and they were all backstage. So it was fantastic. But I'm just glad. I'm glad that, not that he's dead, but that us as fans of his music and of metal in general got to see this type of performance. Recent. It's not like, oh man, remember that big show he did a few years back? Yeah, that was a few years ago. No, this was just a week or 2 ago. He was performing, not lip singing. He was singing on stage. He sounded great. He sounded great, and I'm like, wow. And then we saw there was that meme that went out that people said it was like AI or whatever, where he was saying he was dying, and then Kelly Osbourne would come out and said, "That's BS. My father, has Parkinson's, health insurance, but he's perfectly fine." And then like 3 days later, he passed. It was horrible, but to go on, I see it as he went on top.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Big show from all these people, and sort of it's what you think. Same thing. I think maybe it was one of those where, all right, I said my goodbye. I'm ready.
Yeah, that's what I think happened. And to your point, this isn't like one of those artists that like, oh, Ozzy went away for 10, 15 years. He was still touring. Like even though it would just be like a one-off show, like in their later years, obviously, it would just be a one-off show. Like he never stopped doing what he like. Again, this is the thing he loved above everything: being out there with the fans. You know, and again, for a guy that gets, and I'll let you go next, but it's like for a guy who's labeled the Prince of Darkness, which obviously that was a cool little thing of his. Like, what did he always do? Go out there between every single song. I love you all. I love you all. You know,
God bless.
Yeah, God bless. You know, yeah, Manny, go ahead, man.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is like the other last tour that he did was actually not that long ago. Maybe only a few years ago. Like where I think he just released an album and they're like, he's only doing a certain amount of shows and stuff. And that was it. So like he had only just he hadn't stopped touring until like not long ago.
Yeah. No, I mean, to your point, he has had a lot of final tours. Think about it like this. One of the last tours he did was called No More Tours 2. He had a sequel to his farewell tour.
He had a sequel.
Ministry did one. They were like, was it Bas con Dios or something? It was some Spanish thing. They're like, we're out. And then like a year later, they came back with a new album.
Regresamos.
I mean, also, the band Slayer played, and they still haven't admitted that they've reformed, even though we saw them do a retirement.
They were there. They were there.
It was a big deal.
In fact, their recent things are like not a reunion tour. That's their thing. They would say this tour is not a reunion tour.
I wish bands would just stop with the bullshit. But hey, listen, at least with Ozzy, that really was the final one. That was it. You know,
that's the final one.
It's wild, man. But no, Manny and I, we went to so many Ozfests. And what's cool about Ozfest was they would kind of alternate. One year you get Ozzy's band, the other you get Black Sabbath. You know, and they would just keep that going. And there were some years where Ozzy was a little off here and there, but when he was on, he was fucking on, man. Because there were some years where it's like, I think Zakk Wylde's carrying the show, both with the guitar playing and the singing.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, that's the one thing about Zakk. He always had Ozzy's back. Even kind of when what I feel like Ozzy kind of tossed him to the curb and replaced him with Gus G. Yeah, because remember he made that one. Remember what was it? Was Zakk Sabbath?
Yeah,
whatever, that one album, which was literally supposed to be an Ozzy album that he was going to make with him, and then he's like, nah. Ozzy's like, nah, I want to go with somebody else.
Yeah, there was a Black Label Society album. I'm forgetting which one. I think it was the third album. You're right. Where if you listen to it, it sounds like an Ozzy album because it was supposed to be an Ozzy album.
It wasn't. And Ozzy's on one song too.
Yeah, he is.
That album too.
Yeah. And obviously no shit on Gus G. We love Gus G from Firewind. But yeah, it's like you should have kept Zakk. Like he's your guy. He was always there for you. You know.
To be honest, Randy Rhoads and Jakey Lee, the two other guitarists.
Yeah.
Zakk kind of wrote the more popular albums.
He was on them. You know what I found out, Manny? This is interesting. Songs like Mama I'm Coming Home and even Hellraiser. You know who wrote the lyrics? It was Lemmy. But you're right. Lemmy Kilmister. Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah. I found out this week. Oh, shit. But you're right. Those iconic riffs from the No More Tears is one of Ozzy's biggest albums. Zakk Wylde wrote that album. Let's just be honest, And that's a good point. This is why I always say, even though my favorite Ozzy albums are the ones with Jakey Lee, Zakk Wylde is still my favorite Ozzy guitarist. Not only because of his playing, but just because of not only the loyalty he shows to Ozzy, but just all the guys before him. He always, even when Sharon was talking shit about Jakey Lee, not Zach. It's like, listen, like you can hear it in his playing. He sounds like a mixture of Jakey Lee and fucking Randy Rhoads. Like he honors these guys all the time, you know. And I don't think Zach Wild gets enough credit for helping Ozzy out like that. You know, he was a big part of his second kind of comeback. But yeah, man, again, those Ozfests were so epic. Like, because that's the other thing with Ozzy is like he really helped other bands come up. You know, he was always about that. And it was great. We got to see a lot of bands. We never got to meet Ozzy, which is a little unfortunate.
No, we never met Ozzy in person. But I mean, his things are always. It was always the gate, you know. Like, we
literally and physically.
We did. Obviously run into a lot of, meet some of the other bands, like the members of Killswitch Engage and a couple of other bands.
Dude, like System of the Down.
Manny, were you there when I went to the Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell signing? Were you there for that Best Buy?
Yeah, I was there.
So we did get to meet Tony Iommi and Geezer Butler, and of course,
I didn't. Some silliness, and wasn't able to get on the line. But remember, our buddy Omar got my thing signed.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I at least got to meet.
I have my Heaven and Hell thing.
Yeah, Heaven and Hell. Yeah, that was the Reformed Black Sabbath. And again, obviously, shout out to Ronnie James Dio, who passed away almost 20 years ago now. Another Titan, which is insane. Go ahead, Carlos. I know you like The Rock. So what are your thoughts on Ozzy, man?
Yeah, man. It's just one of those bands that, Black Sabbath and, Ozzy's solo stuff is stuff that, I've always heard throughout my life. I was born with it. I was born in it.
What's that phrase, Carlos? It's like, you adopted it. I was born in it.
Molded by it. I didn't know what it was until I was a man. I forgot what it was. But yeah, man, and you mentioned something that reminded me of someone else. It's like, you said, he's the type of personality he is in the zeitgeist. He reminds me a lot of Snoop Dogg.
Oh yeah, that's another guy. Yeah.
And also like the reality show that he did. I think it was MTV. That was
the Osbournes.
That was huge. The Osbournes. Yeah.
It was huge, and it's just one of those. Okay.
I just remember watching that. I'm like, is this real? Because he was always mumbling around. I said, what am I supposed to do? When's the tour? You're not on tour. When is the tour? Yeah. When is it? There is no tour scheduled. All right. And then he was just like, always remember he walked like a little old guy. Like he was always hunched over, and he had all his chains and his sunglasses on. And it's like, man, it's like, what is up with this guy? But,
I found out some stories about that. So obviously some of it was fake, the kids admitted that, but Ozzy says he never watched the show again because he said he was just stoned the entire time and he didn't want to see himself looking like that, because he did.
I got trivia.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I got trivia. Do you guys know what Ozzy's gamer tag was?
Gamer? I didn't know he had a gamer tag.
Mm-hmm.
Is it
Adam? You don't know that?
I have no idea.
I remember when Jack was playing games. There was something on there, and he was like, "What is this?" And he was trying to teach him how to play something. And
Brian, do you know this? Brian?
I don't think he does. Brian?
No, I do not know.
Yeah.
God damn it, Brian! Kill a pigeon.
Really?
No,
I was about
remember
to say.
He bit off a pigeon's head.
No. But that's Brian's fucking name.
I know it's a joke.
Yeah,
but he said.
Yeah. By the way, but that story's hilarious. It's like basically when they signed the record contract. When he for Blizzard of Oz, like somebody in the record, in the meeting room, they release some dubs. Fucking Ozzy takes one of the dubs and bites the head off. And then
he was fucking nuts.
Yeah, and then during a concert, somebody throws a bat at him. He thinks it's a rubber bat. He's like, "Okay, I'm going to bite the head off of it's a real bat." Yeah. He's insane. And like you said, like Motley Crue, they were like, okay, when I didn't see the movie, Adam, but I remember the behind the music episode, and they were like, listen, we were crazy, but Ozzy was worse. He's like, he saw a line of ants and he just snorted them.
Super high, and he asked them if they had anything on them, and they were like, "No, we don't have anything." It's like, oh, and then he just saw a bunch of ants. He grabbed something. Just snorted the whole line of ants that was on the ground.
Yeah, remember, this is when Motley Crue was considered like the most dangerous band in America, right? They're like the bad boys of rock, and they're even like, "Yo, Ozzy's fucking crazy."
Yeah. They weren't at the show, but Vince Neil's dealing with all his health issues, so
yeah.
That was one, because everyone was like, "Oh, how come Motley Crue's not there?" And that whole story that Sharon said she had to kick off some band because they wanted money or something like that. And it wasn't Motley Crue though.
Okay, yeah. But you guys kind of brought up, there were some video game connections, obviously. First one that came to mind, Manny, I know you know this well, Brutal Legend. He was the the guardian of metal, and it was just Ozzy, was it, and then somebody posted like that he did a PSVR 2 commercial. I didn't realize that, he's like, Sharon, how do I play this game? That was pretty funny.
Hell, he was even in the 2016 Ghostbusters, the all.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Because
what am I doing in this movie?
Well, they went to a metal show to go catch a ghost that was there that was haunting the place, and there's all this band stuff, and then Ozzy's there, and then he starts talking to them. So
that's funny, man. So again, like Snoop Dogg, right? He's just everywhere.
He's everywhere.
So yeah, definitely gotta be missed. You guys say anybody else want to say anything about Ozzy?
No, man. It's sad.
Yeah, go ahead, Chris. I see you there. Chris, go ahead.
I still remember the Ozfest we went to.
That was
an amazing show. And we were fortunate enough to see him because that was 3 nights, and he only performed the night we went. The day we went, that he performed. And that was just after he had the ATV accident.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And we got to see him. That was an amazing show. All of it. We saw Black Label. We saw Iron Maiden. So that was amazing.
That was the best. I went to the Ozfest after that, but that was the best Ozfest. Like, it should have ended there, It
was fantastic.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, and obviously we know about the problems with Iron Maiden and Sharon, Bruce Dickinson. Like that didn't end well,
he didn't like him. He didn't like Ozzy.
No, he didn't have Bruce Dickinson is talking about. He didn't have a problem with Ozzy. He has a problem with Sharon.
Sharon, yeah.
But Sharon didn't like the fact that Bruce Dickinson was talking shit about the show.
Mm-hmm.
So so they were like cutting off Iron Maiden's mics and shit. They were throwing stuff at them.
They were doing all kinds of sneaky shit, which was fucked up.
Yeah. But yeah, man. Again, I'm gonna keep listening to Ozzy for the rest of my life. Obviously. Very sad. Very sad. And I wish that was the only big death that happened this week. But another one, and this one happened today at the time of this recording. And again, one of these dudes, when I said this in the office, everybody knew who this man was. We got to talk about Hulk Hogan. I still can't believe this shit.
Believe it. Yeah.
Fucking Hulk Hogan, like fucking say your prayers, eat your vitamins, it's like gone, bro. And Manny and Adam, I know you guys have seen this guy, at the Garden and shit, among other places, but yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, what else can you say about Hulk Hogan, right? It's like basically all the over-the-top wrestling shit that, as we know it today, he kind of pioneered all that, very. It's just funny. It's like very a man of the 80s. 80s was about being big and bold, America, all this shit. He embodied all that, and like a lot of other guys too, he kept going. He never stopped. It wasn't just like, oh yeah, I remember him from the 80s. What else did he do? He did a bunch of shit after that. NWO. You guys want to talk about fucking, John Cena, the heel turn. What about when Hulk did that shit?
The heel turn. When he did it, that was huge. That was bigger than anything. Even now, this whole Cena thing is bullshit because people still can't boo him. It can't. It's just too rushed. It's too rushed. With the Hogan thing, no one saw that shit coming. And there was a lot of setup. And then, of course, he had Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. There were big names. And they say, we got another member coming. And now it's only Nash.
He's the only one.
That was Razor Ramon. And it's really sad. But he had a lot of health issues. That was the thing with Hogan. And he would hide them. Because we would hear about, he's got surgery. He's out of surgery. He's got surgery. What happened? A different part of his body. Now he's got this. He's got a breathing tube. Don't worry, I'll be fine. I'm gonna make a comeback. I got one more match in me. He's talking all this stuff. So we never really knew how serious his condition is. He just started that other amateur wrestling promotion. Their first show is coming up at the end of August. He's got his American beer that he was doing, but yeah, but it's going to be interesting for Raw because both of these guys we just mentioned are in the WWE Hall of Fame. Ozzy's in there for all the stuff that he's done with WWE. They still have War Pig as the theme song for Survivor Series. They're going to keep doing that. They said it'll never change because sometimes they change. They said that's it. That will always be linked. And it's going to be interesting to see how the fans react because I don't know if you know this, but in recent years, every time Hulk Hogan comes out, he gets booed.
Yeah,
he
gets controversies. Yeah.
Hell. Because of all the shit he says when he's drunk or whatever it is and the lies he spreads, so I'm curious to see how people react because the internet people are horrible. People
have been talking a lot of shit. Hulk Hogan definitely way more controversial than Ozzy, for some people.
Which is funny to say.
Yeah, like the guy who bites the heads off of animals. He's left, and it's like how many animals has he killed? But it's like, but again, it was relatively like unified, right, on Twitter. Oh, Ozzy passed away. With Hulk Hogan, it's mixed, man. Like motherfuckers, like, I'm really glad this motherfucker's dead. I hope he's rotting in hell.
Yeah, there's wrestlers saying that. Yeah, shit. People that hated him. If there's a fake Twitter one for the Iron Sheik,
I love that account.
He was saying shit about him, So it's going to be interesting to see how the crowd reacts, because if they show up a splash screen like they traditionally do, there's two methods that they do. They'll show a splash screen, the death and the whole thing. Sometimes they'll do a 10 bell, and all the wrestlers will come out. And they'll do the 10 bell. I'm not sure if they can do that for Hulk Hogan because I think people will still boo the whole time. But if they combine it with both of them and Ozzy and put both of them on the screen, people won't boo because Ozzy's a good
point. Yeah,
they're gonna be like, well, I'm not gonna boo, and I think they might do that because they know the reaction and just the way people are. But it's sad.
No, it is, man. Go ahead, bro.
The crazy thing with him, he literally saved the WWE like when it started.
Oh, multiple.
And he almost killed the WWE too. Which is ironic.
He almost saved, he almost killed. He did the same thing with WCW when he went over there. They spent all this money and then his star was fading. And then that's when it was like, all right, we need to get our money's worth. We got to come up with something. Go heel.
Gotta have something.
Yeah, gotta have something.
And it worked.
He's always,
it worked.
You guys are a little bit older than me, but for me, similar with Ozzy, he's always been a zeitgeist figure to me ever since I was born. He was larger than life since I was born. So getting to know him like that, and when I started watching wrestling, it was during the NWO days. That's how I got to know his actual wrestling matches. And man, it's crazy. Shout out to I forgot which WrestleMania was the one with The Rock when they went back to WWE.
That was switched back to being a babyface.
2006 around there. Well, he didn't even want to though. That was the thing. He was a heel in that match, but everyone kept cheering him. They didn't want to boo him. So every time Rock hit him, they would boo, and then he would hit The Rock, and they would cheer. But he was still in the white and black.
Yeah,
I watched that pay-per-view. That it was like. And I haven't seen many of them since that or even before, but the fuck, I remember it was the most electric I've ever, no pun intended, the most electric, I've ever seen a crowd was at WrestleMania. And it was kind of kind of emotional too when you stuck out the hand to The Rock. It was like, damn, because and you saw it was like the old guard with a new, and it was all that. So,
there's a funny story with that because right after when he went in the back, Vince was like, "That's it. We're going back." And he was like, "I don't have any of the old stuff." They had to go get the boa. They bought all the stuff from Monday Night Raw, and when he came out as the old Hogan. That was it. The Hollywood Hogan gone. They were like, "This is it. We're gonna hit it while the iron is hot." They got his old outfit. I think they even flew back to go get some of his trunks and things like his tights. Just it was this whole big thing because they're like, nope, this is it. We're going forward with this, and that was it. He came back with the red and yellow boa and the whole
holster.
thing. Yeah, the holster was back. He's like, people want it.
That's what they want.
They weren't expecting that. Nobody was expecting that.
And also, tying back, full circle, he also had a reality show with his family.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
he did. Yeah, Hogan knows best.
Hogan knows best.
Yeah. By the way, the Ozzy show, it wasn't the first, obviously, but it kind of pioneered that type, big famous guy. Let's go live. Let's go check out his house. So
Gene Simmons, Family Jewels.
Yeah,
Simmons had one too.
Yeah, so Hulk Hogan knows that.
Flavor of Love.
Yeah, Flavor of Love. I remember that one. Flavor Flav. Oh man! By the way, right now at the Garden, they actually put up a big thing of Hulk Hogan commemorating him.
Or Hulk Hogan. Well, there's a lot of history at the Garden over there.
Yeah,
so,
that's where. That's where he fought Andre the Giant, right? Like, where did he fight him?
Well, he fought.
It was at WrestleMania. He fought him multiple times.
WrestleMania 3. But
WrestleMania 3 wasn't it outdoors?
Yeah, where was it?
No. WrestleMania 3 was I can't remember where WrestleMania 3 was, but that was not at Madison Square Garden. WrestleMania 1 was at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
Because, but he's fought, the thing about that WrestleMania 3 when he fought Andre the Giant, that was also the first time Andre the Giant had been a heel, because he had always classically been a good guy. And being that Hogan was a good guy, they classically wouldn't go against each other unless it was some sort of exhibition match or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah,
that's why it was a big deal when he ripped the shirt, the chain. Remember the cross on his chest? He did a promo. He's good, and he's like, "What?" Hogan was crying and stuff. Like, "Whoa, not you, Andre."
Yeah, but that was but also but there is a lot of history in general with Hulk Hogan and the Madison Square Garden.
Yeah. I just looked it up. WrestleMania 3 was in Detroit at the Pontiac Silverdome.
Oh, okay. Alex and Hugo is based off Hogan and Andre the Giant. From Street Fighter 3. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Street Fighter 3. Yeah. There's a lot like Slam Masters. There's a bunch of characters that are in there that are based off of the main guys, pretty much Hulk Hogan. Anytime you see the guy ripping off his shirt, that's totally a Hulk Hogan.
That's a Hulk Hogan
blonde
thing.
Hair, Malibu. They picked.
Yeah.
He just had he was the the living superhero.
I mean, pretty much.
A lot of us when we were young,
Yeah, and it's crazy because I didn't start watching wrestling until I came to America, in the late 80s. And I'm being very specific about that. So I watched Lucha Libre when I was in Dominican Republic, but it was just a bunch of Mexican guys in masks and shit, But
they still are just a bunch of Mexican guys.
They still are, yeah. I remember whenever they would make they would foam from their mouth, I would get scared and shit. I was like, what's happening? But yeah, obviously, when I came to America watching all that shit, that's the first iteration of wrestling I got into, during those heydays. Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man, Randy Savage, Ted DiBiase. Hogan was that guy, I still remember him, with that big American flag and shit. And till this day, man, I still rock, real American, especially during 4th of July. American. I was pumping that shit a lot today, I even heard because I forgot the artist, but the original version of it, it's still the same thing, it's just a cleaner recording. What's up?
Also Voodoo Child.
What happened?
Voodoo Child. Jimi Hendrix song.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
used to come up with
modified version of that one. Yeah. I mean, I got 6 or 7 different Hogan figs.
I was about to say, where's the figures at, Adam?
They're in the back on the wall. I got an NWO one. I got the old school one with the boa. I got one where he came out with a Lucha Libre mask, but it was American flag one.
Yeah.
I have one that's just where he's wearing army gear because he said he's ready to go to war. I got a whole bunch of them, so I'm okay with that. But the way I see it, and I tell people all the time, it's all the shit that he did outside, whatever.
Yeah,
that's Terry Bollea. That shit.
That's Terry Bollea.
Yeah. Hulk Hogan, the character, that's who I like. That's who I care about. When he comes out, he's not Terry. He is Hulk Hogan. He's doing the flexing. He's pointing up. That, to me, is the character that I like. And that's what I care about. And that's who I'm going to miss.
Yeah, no, well said right there. Rich, get in here, man, because I know you're a big wrestling fan. What are your thoughts about Hogan passing away?
Well, this might be a controversial answer.
Oh
shit.
I think I can't say it any better than Adam said. Yeah, Hulk Hogan, the character, that is the guy that will be missed. One thing that I did learn today, which I thought is very interesting, we know about all what happened in the past with Hogan and the tapes being released. Today actually was the anniversary of when those tapes got released.
Oh, wow.
So that explains why when you went online and you saw there was so many people talking bad about him, that's why. But that's very unfortunate. But yeah, no, this guy was a legend. Yeah, so many people out now, like people like Roman Reigns, some of the people that they put as stars now, it's all because they are trying to find the next Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, John Cena was in that category. Roman Reigns is that guy now until, you know, although his career is coming to an end soon.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but no, when all the stuff happened with the controversy, it was unfortunate to see because, yeah, I remember growing up watching Hogan, playing all the video games.
Yes.
Hogan is in the games as well. I mean, yeah, all that was great. So, but yeah, it is unfortunate. But here's where the controversial statement is that I do want to make. I'm very surprised he went before Vince McMahon because Vince McMahon and Ric Flair, those are the two names I saw everybody talking about today. What these guys are still around, and Ric Flair, he did a lot of stuff where you would be like, yeah, you surprised this guy is still around. He actually
plane crash.
Yeah, he survived the plane crash.
Yeah,
I mean the thing about Ric Flair is though he didn't do steroids like.
Yeah, because Hulk died of a heart attack, which is indicative of steroid use.
Steroid use.
Yeah, a lot of these guys that like we lost, like Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man, he also died of a heart attack.
Man.
And the
Mr.
Boss
Perfect,
Man.
Ravishing
Mr. Perfect.
Like, there was the image that was going around just of the 3 Ultimate Warrior and then Macho Man on a cartridge.
Yeah, the cartridge,
better one is to look at the first Royal Rumble picture and see all the names that have just all disappeared and died. Mr. Wonderful, all these people that have just died. You know, it's sad. Earthquake.
Yeah. Oh man.
It's like the list. Yeah. It's like you could just see they're all picking up, just disappearing.
Yeah. That whole era of it's crazy to think, but that whole era of wrestling, most of those guys are gone.
Yeah.
Beware. You know, Roddy Piper.
Fuck.
In our,
guys are bringing it back.
In our personal text thing, I showed you the 4 images that you. It was what it is it's back when you used to go to house shows, you know, you used to be able to buy like autographed things, but they weren't really autographed. They were like pre-printed autographs, and you could buy different sets. So they had one set that had, you know, Bret the Hitman Hart, maybe a British Bulldog, you know, 4 guys on that one.
Yes.
And then another one had Hulk Hogan, Dusty Rhodes, Roddy Piper, and Ultimate Warrior.
Fuck.
All 3 of those guys gone.
That's wild, man.
Weirdly enough, being the first.
Yeah, he died early on.
Yeah.
There was an interview.
Go ahead, Rich.
Today with Ric Flair.
Oh yeah, Ric Flair. I saw he's posted the quick thing today.
Because he just posted the day before that he was cancer free.
He was cancer free.
And then
he had skin cancer.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, man.
But but you look at like Ric Flair. Like Ric Flair didn't live. He did it. He lived hard, but he didn't live nearly as hard. You know, because of the whole, you know, he didn't do the steroids thing. Same thing with you know, Jerry Lawler.
He did do a lot of drinking.
Yeah, Jerry Lawler
did a lot of drinking.
He did a lot of drinking, but I mean, not like Jake the Snake drinking. Where
Jake the Snake was a total alcoholic.
Jake the Snake is like
and drugs. Remember on coke? Behind the mat, see him in the alleyway and shit.
Jake the Snake was like the Ozzy Osbourne of wrestlers. Like he did some serious ass drugs, you know, but he managed to pull himself out of it.
He cleaned up.
Yeah. Barry Burton says this is kind of interesting. Let me finish this because I know somebody's going to want to jump in. Yeah, Hulk Hogan. Nothing controversial though. Because we're a bunch of nerds. We like, oh, actually, because I would be doing that, and I am going to do that after I read this. Hulk Hogan starred in 2 non-wrestling video games. Suburban Commando for PC Amiga and Thunder in Paradise for PC and CDI. And those games were based off a movie and a TV show.
Yeah, Thunder in Paradise.
Remember Thunder in Paradise?
That's another one. Show got canceled on one channel and then got picked up by another one, became a huge hit, went on for a bunch of years.
Yeah.
Is he ever on the Expendables? It seems like that's some.
He should have been.
He should have been.
He was not an Expendable. No.
He was
Steve Austin was an Expendable.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Somebody posted a clip of him in the A-Team, with T, Mr. T.
Mr. T. Well, yeah, he was hooked up with Mr. T.
Yeah, the tweet was like, "This was my first introduction to Hogan." I was like, "Who's that dude riding around with B.A. Barricus?"
He was in Rocky 3.
He was. Yeah.
And he was he had a weird cameo in Gremlins.
He got
fired. He was in Gremlins. That's right. Yeah.
Because of that. That's why he couldn't use the Hulk Hogan name, because Vince did not.
Well, they called him like Thunder Lips.
Yeah, that's what his name was.
They didn't want him to do the movie. They're like, no, don't do the movie. Just stick with it. And he's like, no, I'm not passing on this. It's Hollywood. He's like, all right, you're fired. He's like, all right, I'm fired. And then so they went with the Thunder Lips name because they were going to use him as Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. Oh,
and
wow.
then once they became out and it was a huge hit, then they were like, all right, we're sorry. And they got him back.
Well, no. The thing is that, no, I think he did. Well, yeah, it was early before the whole, it was early on before the whole thing. Like he was big, but he wasn't that big. But after he did that film, he started using the Rocky music as his entrance theme.
Oh, interesting.
So this is before Real American and all that other stuff. This is like when he still didn't have the full gimmick in, but after that point, he started using the whole, he started to use the Rocky theme to come down to the ring because everybody saw him in that film.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. But yeah, again, one of these legends that like won't be replicated. I think the closest, and you guys let me know if I'm off base here. The closest I think that any other wrestler came, and he didn't match Hulk Hogan, was probably Stone Cold, but his career kind of got cut short.
The Rock.
I kind of disagree about The Rock because I think The Rock became more popular outside of the wrestling. Like he became more of a cultural guy because of the movies and all that. Like there's people that just know him as a fucking Adam. Wasn't it your kids? Hero, right? Like they're like he's a wrestler. Like Hulk Hogan was always a wrestler.
Yeah.
Like there's people that. So that's what I'm saying, Carlos. Like I think, Rock is huge, but I think he's more popular because of being a star, not being a wrestler. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's definitely correct because Hogan was not a good actor.
Yeah, he wasn't. He wasn't in good movies either. let's just be honest. Was it Mr. Nanny? Was
anybody see Suburban Commando?
Yeah, Suburban Commando's not good.
Suburban Commando.
Yeah, but
No Holds Barred. Remember that? That was another one.
Yeah, but I remember that. Yeah, but just purely for wrestling, like I think no other wrestler really has come that close. But you're right. The Rock is just he is The Rock. Like when he's in a movie, he's not even playing the character. He's just The Rock.
And especially the most recent years where he did come back and he did wrestle.
Yeah.
So even the generation that only knew him from movies, and then when they see him, and then the way the show kept revolving around the family and the tribal chief and all that stuff, and they're like, oh wow, okay. So the generation now knows of who he is, and with all the highlight videos and stuff and all the big matches that he's had, like Carlos had mentioned with Hulk Hogan when he did that at the Hollywood match. That was a big one at Mania, and then Steve Austin. He was involved in a lot of big matches. But right now, his star has definitely shined just from the time in Hollywood.
Yeah, that's where it came from, man.
That would be a great question. Like, who has the more quantity of big matches between Hogan and The Rock? Because Hogan definitely has, the WrestleMania 3 that was, with Andre the Giant. The Rock.
The Rock doesn't have that fight. Like Hogan and Andre the Giant is still talked about to this day.
Yeah, still talked about. Yeah.
Yeah, The Rock is like Tony said. You could take a picture of The Rock to the jungles of Burma, and they go, "Oh, it's a rock." Like,
Yeah.
they know, but it's from the movies. Hogan is legendary for wrestling. Like,
yeah. What's up, Rich?
Yeah.
That's what he'll forever be known.
Yeah.
I just want to add to what Carlos said. Yeah, Hogan wins that debate for all the reasons that you said, but I'm also going to say he wins that debate because Roman Reigns never fought The Rock, and that's the match people wanted. So yeah, The Rock, nah. Hogan definitely has had a lot more memorable matches.
The one that everyone always talks about is Hulk Hogan versus Andre. You know,
that again, people still talk about that, you know,
because Andre still hasn't been surpassed in size. I mean, there's one dude that's kind of big, but doesn't have the width, the mass.
Yeah.
You know,
when he lifted that big motherfucker and slammed him, like, he's what?
So huge.
You know?
He's so huge, you know.
So funny thing about that, a funny thing about the Andre slam is like everybody thinks that was the first time Andre had ever been slammed. No, he actually was slammed quite a bit.
Yeah.
Even Coco Beware slammed him at one point. But you know, obviously it's a big moment because of just the stage that they were on. It's the
you didn't have the internet to spoil it, so they would do test runs at house shows, and they were like, all right, we're gonna go this, we're gonna try to see if this match works, and then they hone the match, they master it, so that now when they bring it to TV, it's put together well.
Yeah.
And so he had talked about it. He's like, man, I slammed him so many times, but there was no internet, no internet, no one to spoil it.
Yeah, no, that would have been spoiled now. Yeah, you can't get away with that, man. But yeah, very sad. The other thing I wanted to bring up, you know, kind of tying it all together, man. And not to get too morose, but it's one of those things like, yo, guys, we have to just accept this, man. I tweeted about this too. It's like, yo, we're at that age. Like, I think most of us here are at that age where it's like, we're going to keep experiencing this. We're going to keep seeing all of our childhood heroes one by one, just like those wrestlers you mentioned, Manny, one by one, just going away. It's upsetting, man. It's like, man, like we're going to eventually have to go through, you know, like fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger passing away. Bruce Willis is not looking that good. Stallone. It's fucking crazy.
I think Bruce Willis is gone?
Not yet. But
he's got that neurological. Yeah,
he's got dementia and stuff.
It came out like someone in his family said he doesn't even remember the movies he did anymore.
Yeah.
It's that bad.
I mean, I remember for a long time, man. I was just like, man, Stan Lee's gonna pass away, and that happened years ago now. You know. So it's crazy, but yeah, guys, go ahead.
Some of these are still acting. Stallone still has Tulsa
He's still doing his thing, yeah.
Show. Season 3's coming out. We just had season 2 of Fubar with Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's his action show. So they're still going.
Yeah, so no, I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's going to happen like tomorrow or anything, but you know, there will come a day where it's like you are going to outlive Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know.
There's this guy's right now. Like, look at the original series. William Shatner is 93 years old.
He's still going, you know.
He's still going.
Keith Richards is still going. I'm still amazed by that one, you know. But yeah, man.
Shout out to Dick Van Dyke, man.
Dick Van Dyke.
Oh, Dick Van Dyke. Yeah,
he's 100 years 100.
old.
Yeah. Shout out to him, man. But yeah, Adam, I'm kind of in the same boat as you. It's like, yeah, it is sad, but I'm just happy I got to experience those guys, you know.
It's a full life. Think of all the musicians that we lost. Chris Cornell. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, it's too early. What the hell? There's so many of these musicians. That was the other reminder when watching that last show for Ozfest, because of course was it Wes Stanley? I think if I'm remembering it, for Alice in Chains. You know, he had passed many years ago. Wayne Stanley. So
Lane Stanley. Yeah. Great singer right there. But that was fuck. But yeah, shout out to Ozzy Osbourne and shout out to Hulk Hogan, man. Good stuff.
And Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Yeah, let's talk about him real quick. I want to talk about because I was the first. I don't know if you guys have heard this. It's like they call it like deaths always come in 3. He was actually the first one. Malcolm Jamal Warner, obviously Theo Huxtable. If you grew up in the 80s, like a lot of us here did, you were watching the Cosby Show. Cosby Show, legendary show. You know, I still remember that. Bill Cosby always cracking me up. you know. And Theo, he always seemed. I mean, and the thing about Malcolm Jamal Warner himself, he's a cool dude. Like, if you ever seen him, there's no drama associated with him. He's just a chill guy.
No,
you know.
He out of all the like, you know, a lot of some of the other Cosby kids got into all kinds of trouble. What's her face
went into porn. One went into porn.
Yeah. What was it? You know, like, so, you know, like, you had a lot of them that went on into all these different directions. Malcolm was kind of like the good one, like, you know, whereas you think of like Different Strokes and all the kids on that show ended up awful. Like,
all of them,
ended up on drugs, and Dana Plato, she ended up on, you know, being, you know, dying.
She did porn also.
Drugs,
she did drugs and porn.
And then, you know, what's his face? Arnold, he ended up, like, at the end of his life, he was like working at
Gary Coleman. Yeah, he had no money.
Gary
security guard, right?
as like a security guard, and he didn't have, none of his. So, but Malcolm seemed like the one, like, you know, he had it good. But I mean, it's unfortunate how he
died drowned. That is, I was talking to my boy Jeffrey about this. Like, I think drowning has got to be like in top 3, one of the most brutal ways to die, because you're experiencing that shit minute by minute until you're gone, you know? So, and again, if you've seen this guy, like, he looked really good, very healthy. You could tell he's like working out and stuff. That was really upsetting, because it's like, let's just be honest, with Ozzy and Hulk Hogan, like, these guys just fucking battered their bodies. You knew that shit wasn't gonna last, but this just came out of nowhere, you know? Again, like I said, we're at that age.
He's only 52 years old.
Yeah, he was very young, very young, you know? Dio is like, he's like, I watched Cosby Show for Lisa Bonet. My man. Yeah, Cosby Show was fantastic.
Married to Jason Momoa for a long time.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
She was also married to Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah, I knew about that one. Yeah.
In fact, Zoe Kravitz, I think that's their daughter, ain't it?
That's Zoe Kravitz's daughter. You know, and then Jason Momoa, I think they got divorced maybe like 2 years ago, recently, but they were married for a long time.
Yeah, Gary, I'm glad you bring this up, because I heard people talk about this guy passing away, but I'm not familiar with him. His name is Chuck Mangione.
He's like a jazz musician.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with him.
It's that Feels So Good song, right? That's the song he did.
Yeah,
in the 70s.
Barry says "Feel So Bad." You know, I guess.
Whoa.
But yeah, I don't have any comment. I'm not familiar with him, but he was 84, I believe. So that's a long life. And also, actually, I'll pull this up. Apparently, one of the guys that helped create the Elder Scrolls passed away this week. He was like 57, really young dude. Todd Howard came out, you know, said something very nice about him. He's like, "Yo, we wouldn't exist if not for this dude." So yeah, this was a brutal week.
Wow,
you know,
this week, man.
Was it this Top Chef or something like that? One of the women, they found that they did the autopsy. She died.
Oh, she committed suicide.
Yeah, they found out it was a suicide.
So let me, because I want to play respectful. Julian LaFay, he was actually called the father of the Elder Scrolls 59. I wish Brett was here to talk about him, but yeah, it's very sad, very sad. But like I said, just be prepared, man, because you have to just live through this stuff more and more and more. It just sucks. It's like, you know, like the world you knew, it's gone, man. Being slowly taken away. The Reaper is busy. Yeah, he is. Fucking asshole, you know? Anyway, but yeah, we had to give respect to some of these guys, man, because I know it's not quote-unquote video games, but it's big, you know, pop culture stuff, zeitgeist shit, you know? I don't think we were going to be doing this for, like, these celebrities are around now, I'll tell you that, you know? Like, no one's going to remember these people 5 years from now, let alone 80 years from now. Ozzy, that motherfucker will live forever.
Forever,
you know?
Yeah.
I mean, even now, like you said, you're listening to music and you can see it top on Spotify. It's all Ozzy, Black Sabbath music. Everyone's playing it. You know, I'm sure the shirts and stuff are flying off the shelves. They're printing all that.
Yeah, it's timeless shit, man. It's great.
Tom McFarlane had a Monsters of Rock. He had a fig collection.
Oh, nice.
He had some good. Rob Zombie had Ozzy, and those have been out of stock for a while. But I'm sure you're gonna reprint those now because you know everybody wants their memorabilia.
Yeah, people are gonna be cashing in. You know. I wonder if they're gonna. It's funny because apparently they re-released most of Ozzy's albums like a couple of years ago. I wonder if they're gonna do it again. You know,
Did they re-release what's it for Ultimate Sin?
Yeah, they actually I don't know. I don't think that one got a re-release.
I remember that Ultimate Sin is always the one that keeps getting passed over because Sharon Osbourne doesn't like that album because of the one song "Thank God for the Bomb."
Yeah, I don't know if it was that. By the way, it's interesting how that album has 2 songs about nuclear war. Killer of Giants is the other one. Yep. Yeah, look at that because they've gotten expanded editions. Osmosis, which is a later album, got expanded edition. Not Ultimate Sin.
Yep.
Not like Ultimate Sin.
That's the one. That's the one that she doesn't like. That's why granted they still play songs. He would still do "Shot in the Dark." And,
yeah, I mean that song was fucking huge.
That's a huge song on there. So.
That was. I remember hearing that song.
One step away from you.
I think it was in Nightmare on Elm Street.
I think it was. No,
Dream Warriors.
No, Dream Warriors. That was Dokken. Dokken sang the song Dream Warriors.
Yeah.
With the Dream Warriors.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, not. But it was an Ozzy song at the end that played.
Must have been another song. Must have been another movie. Maybe the Dream Master or whatever. Man. Man, take me back to the 80s, man. Fuck this era, bro.
Well, I mean, you could well, what was it? Not Vanishing Point. It's the one. It's the movie with the ghost car in it. With shit. It's got a bunch of Ozzy music in it. The Wraith.
The Wraith?
Oh, yeah, with Charlie Sheen. That movie?
With Charlie Sheen. That movie has a bunch of Ozzy songs in it.
Ooh. Manny, this is hilarious. All the Ozzy albums. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about even up till the ones he released a couple of years ago got expanded editions, except one. Even Bark at the Moon got expanded, By the way, and just to tie it in with video game shit, like the song Bark at the Moon, I always associate that with GTA Vice City.
Yes.
Always pumping that shit.
Treat.
Yeah.
It was a horror movie, Trick or Treat, and he's in it, and that was the main song, Shot in the Dark.
And then,
but he was actually physically in the movie.
Oh shit! And then Chris, the other one, whatchamacallit, in San Andreas, Hellraiser. Another Ozzy song. Right. That one was written.
Secret Loser is in.
Secret Loser. Oh yeah, that's a great song. Yeah.
Yeah, what you call me?
Yeah. Loser. I'm a secret loser. That was great, man. By the way, Chris, you should check out Lemmy's version of Hellraiser. Same song, it's just with Lemmy singing instead.
Man, they play. When they announced Ozzy passed away, the Boneyard total tribute, nice. All day. I was listening all day, and they played that. Yeah.
Didn't you tell me the Boneyard guy? Yeah. By the way, that's the name of the station, Ozzy's Boneyard. Didn't you tell me the guy was crying too? It's like it got real.
Oh, he was for real crying. He was emotional.
Fuck, man.
They were calling in. People were crying, calling in. They were, Man,
Ozzy, man, like it's real. But that's mostly the emotion I feel. It's like I'm sad, obviously, but so happy, man. I got to listen to this shit. I got to see him live.
Got to see him. That's the best. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you see him live
that forever.
Exactly. Yeah. Good stuff, man. Make sure you train, say your prayers, eat your vitamins, stay true to yourself, true to the country, be a real American. All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Later.